Mwenduka mune no ndira mwe koma figweli ya 3 okuyamo kadi shonkali mu wamukaya ndaja ko wambo onda pekende yapo mwa meme onte kulwa tete ndiapo ntale yapo kandi mpopi fa kende ndapo ya andi yapuye pombola yapa amandi pula okakurederenga kokana kataka hanji okuruderenga opeke o tulina mwa meme atuli kundu omulinawa okwaja o polisi mokurudelanga mokwana mwaike o kala saka mwageki ya o polisi o shiye ateiti takuti o nsamano ko pekulombola kuchinora ndifa lyombelela tukulombola kuchinora ndifa lyombelela uya dimali wa mboli tokanangala ko dorongo nina vovaja kwake vokilila kumwame moko kwake vokakolutulae yetati bakwetwe aye tupopsenya ke balume nonye tupopsenya ko tuli ake tuliva bali tuli meni aye tupopsenye inang patange tupopsenya ko vove yabeli batatu veri batatu veke vokila kolutulae yetati tupopsenya ashike nang patange ko lutu tupopsenya hike nonge ngatuyeni atuyenya ashike balume nakwetu tupopsenya ashike oshiki ya mpopi wananye hani tupopseni yotali vesha kashona wempono kilo venkpetosho eshi venkpata umokwenkpata konima ndomo kwa etelinzi elinga onto wayudi apa empitamu yotianga nkpetenga entongolo pombuda ye umota ndo kotaka tali ketanga yomokuete mokulu ye winya sheti ketanga omokpaya ahakpanga shami ketanga o aliko ni mashemwe fanga nya dadi demu kutulanga ha okwiya puganga ti depedu ndeba kalela ikenga shidenga pedu wota patami ketanga pakati ketanga nga eri ongali anangala eri ongali taven koko yeven preto kujamo ndudae okuya pokado pzoko keliopo embulupe adae icho manga ya pedu nga umwe kwata koma yulu ipataka bwete pataka vo otale ndia telepe dunga ha tamenga telepe dunga nga komolu vo kwata mike tanga otave mpwe dasho omangi na kwa mondu da okado pika mukadura mumbrupe ya dembrupe ya dai kadi da jamaiki to tadi apa tave tapwe dai baba kwili yo tapwe dasho oshimashi sheshi ili ai shelu piriko mbada shitapwe bapo amendea ndilombwela almeno festival menonye otandi dipaelo numa kati ko banu oshipashike ya tupopseni ndota mpwedo meri kombada yedo afo mpidi ndota mumpata otamu mpweda afo onana mwengu eri kombada morwashike ovenkwata ngao noku shiembulu kwa ande dishunamo amende dishunamo embulu kwa daende dianga dishunamo bota ven pata como ulu no komoko ekupla mbaba shimbange no kandalipo okwaeli hangele ngiro kwaeli amakasha shaiva na mbaba ngeno kwa mweli amakasha shashembulu kwa dagu shoko dangwa dagja mente dikwa telaba mala tapwe dek vovengi ata oponde akundikila ombulupea vengi ata ndo kwalia pakombinga shasho kwalia peri ongaringa kwalia pakunokwana makuni ngini endiata.
The community gathered outside David Shambo's house to support them after their traumatic ordeal. Elizabeth Shambo, David's wife, was not at home at the time of the incident.
Yesterday when I come from work about around 1 o'clock, when I get out from the taxi, I just saw a crowd of people in front of my house, and I was a little bit confused because long time I lost my child in fire, and when I saw my husband pulled by police officer, and when I come nearby the house, I see my children crying. I don't know what to do. I just put my bag there, land to my children, and the police officer put my husband in their van. I didn't talk to him. They just go. No, they beat him because he's selling kapana. He's not working. He used to struggle at single quarter. Now there is crossed. They are cleaning there, so he's just struggling at home. He's having water there to wash hands, and we having those takeaways. When a person buy, we put for him or her, and he go to eat to their houses.
So you don't understand why do you think that the police had hurt him?
I don't know why they have to beat him. Now he's in hospital. They have to find him, not to beat him. He's now in hospital, in Katutura hospital. He's not good. His leg is on. Yeah, his leg is injured. Yeah, we want to open a case. It's not good. Like now, my kid. You see, my kid is crying when he saw a police. He said, "No, they took my daddy. They took my daddy." No, it's not good. No, because we didn't get chance. When they took him to hospital, I went there also. They don't want me to go to him to talk to him. Even his phone, they give his phone to me. They said he must stay there without a phone. I don't know why.
So
he's not a criminal. He was just struggling for his kids. No, that is not good because they are having money every month. They're getting paid. But as people here, as we staying in this, it's not what we want because we are struggling. We don't have. Like me, I'm having 4 kids schooling using tax money because father is struggling. Like now he's not working. I don't know. Maybe they will stay at home. No, to us it's bad because we are just surviving and selling. Me, I'm working at Ministry of Defense but as a cleaner. My salary won't fit. I'm having 12 people in my house. My house can't fit to feed them. No, I just want to say, please, government of ours must look at us poor people in Namibia. Yeah, because it looks like if you are poor, you have to die poor in Namibia.
Insurance doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. It doesn't have to be a hassle or put a dent in your budget. The right insurer will get you financially prepared for accidents or emergencies with insurance for your phone, car, buildings, or your business. Let the Good Deal Namibia help you stretch your dollar by directing you to the one insurer that promises decreased premiums the longer you're insured. For a quote, simply SMS insure to 555 and we will call you back.
David Shambo was barbecuing meat outside his home when police allegedly accosted him. Fellow vendor Almaruru Munjwa went to see David at the Wanaheda police station where he was detained after being beaten.
The one who was beaten by the police was working together. So that time I was Mr. Hasheni and Johnny. You mean the name is Johnny? So she come tell us, no, Shambo was calling me, she was beaten by the police. Hey? Beaten by the police. He's in Wanaheda police station. Why? No, I don't know. Immediately, David Shambo self, the one who was beaten by the police, he was calling me. Oh, Rura was beaten by the police. What happened? No, it's Kudu. What Kudu did to you? David Shambo called me. Ruru, where are you? No, I'm at Matara. I was beaten by the police. Why? No, it's same Kudu. The one who was arrested me the first time about of the meat, she come with 2 officers. They can beat me here. I'm sick. I'm very pain. I said no. Why? So I told Johnny, let us go to Wanaheda police station. Before I went to Wanaheda police station, I called General Sebastian Itunga. I talking to him to say, General, we are meat vendors, so we are having a problem. Why the police do always chase our people, always beat us? Why? We are people, we are not the animals. So we have the kids who are suffer from 27 March up to now. We are not working. We survive for Kapana. So if it's not people sell it, where must go and survive with all of these kids?
David Shambo, a Kapana vendor, was brutally assaulted by police in the presence of his children.
They was pulling my father from there, and they brought him here and they start kicking him here. They did come they did come swearing him in his they did come swearing him his mother and his father. He did say, let's just talk nicely, and they were shouting at him. No.
How many people were here?
There was only the house people. I was feeling bad. I was crying. One man did tell them to stop. I saw them pulling my father in the sand, and they did throw him in their car.
Laban Haikonda is also a Kapana seller and laments the current conditions that have brought him to the brink of desperation.
Police come the single quarter. I put the stove in the meat. The police are coming. I found the MF water. The water have a sip. Then a whiff of my meat. Then I say, hey, my meat, everything is fraud. You know, my people, my customer, everything I check. My meat, I put shape. You know, it's not good like this. I take note the what is then I make my meat for the sun. It's not good. You know, I make it so. I say, take your meat. Don't sell anymore. Then you're waiting what they. You know, no 3 months. I'm alone in my house. I help my kids, my family. Nothing, man. You know, 3 months all of them. We are not the what is the for
not any money.
Any man, nothing, electricity, nothing, water. I'm paid for the municipality water, not the water like what it is, no. Huh? But no, my house, my family, my kids are starting school tomorrow. Nothing, money, nothing, everything, you know. But the police is coming, take my thing like not good like this. Also, my brother yesterday selling meat here. I come in, then I beat my brother. I don't know what happened. Also, they say the policeman is coming. Have a firearm. Hey! Eh? What is this? For people, I'm not still, I'm not what happening, eh? But I'm selling only, I want to help my family. Eh? Now, she comes with the firearm, hey, you know, like all the South African people, eh? But I'm selling, I'm not stealing.
I spoke to the city of Windhoek's Lydia Amutenya about the plight of the vendors.
As we all know, all these issues came about because of the spread of COVID-19, and we are all working towards trying to ensure that we do not create any rooms or holes or possibilities for the virus to spread. The law enforcement is trying to enforce the bylaws. That is actually not to allow people to just vent everywhere. And also amidst COVID-19, we have people that are just moving around from one place to another, and that is exactly how this virus spread. You know, the movements from one place to another, there's no control, there's no social distancing, there's no sanitizing. There are actually no preventative measures when it comes to street vending, and that is a challenge. Now, of course, we do really understand the impact that this whole spread of COVID-19 has brought on the livelihood of our people, and it's also not, we are not heartless, or we do have emotions, and we do understand this is our brothers and sisters that are coming from our homes. It's people that are trying to make a livelihood, to make an end meet, and as a result, they are trying their best. But we have this invisible enemy that we are fighting, all of us, and we have to find kind of amicable ways to be able to still promote people to be able to create something for themselves or to improve their livelihood, while we are also trying to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
I asked her why, since independence, very little effort has been made to ensure that vendors have enough trading places.
Now, what is going to happen, of course, we are not enjoying these confrontations that are taking place between the city, law enforcement officers and the vendors. It's not that we don't want a scene like that. We are not enjoying it. It's draining, emotionally draining, and it's not what we want. In the end, we want people to be able to also make an ends meet at the end of the day. Now, this morning, we had the vendors. The vendors were gathered at City Police, again demanding to see our chief of city police, and then we managed to engage the vendors together with city police and together with our deputy mayor, Councillor Ian Subasubani. So we came to a table and we have agreed that going forward we need to find a temporary solution while we are trying to find a permanent solution towards the lack of trading markets, of trading places. And that solution is, or the temporary arrangement is to say, of course, it's very difficult to police or to bring an order to people that are hungry. People are trying to feed their families, and I mean, if you are trying to maintain or to implement or to the bylaws with people that are hungry, then it's going to always possess a huge challenge that at the end of the day you are not likely to win. And we are not in a competition of who is determining who is going to win and who is not. We are actually now trying to see and find an amicable solution that is amicable and that is relevant for all of us.
I also asked her about the heavy-handedness of the police and the many fines that vendors get.
I'm not here really to speak on behalf of the police. I think we all know that if you something has happened to you, like in cases that you feel that you are unfair treated, of course you can, the channels are there to say you can go open up a case and the case can be investigated, and whoever, of course law will take its course and justice will serve.
Seem to be running a temperature, doctor.
I think so, nurse.
As ek na daai smaal kyk, is jy nie op 'n ander planeet wat jy upset is nie.
Nie 'n planeet nie. Cloud 9. Beste aand van my lewe.
Dis nie reg om met meisies se harte te mors nie. Veral nie iemand soos Nosi doen.
Rekoshebi. Unkatlo motseleng fela. Ritlabada. Angeke bemnandi. Pasop.
Justin is a criminal. He's the lowest kind of scum. I wouldn't let him near my dogs, let alone children.
Leslie het jou help vlug. Daar's fout met jou ore. Ek weet nie eers wie Leslie is nie. En as jy hier wil oorleef, onthou dit. Wil jy my op daai selfe lys sit? Gee jy enigstens om vir my?
Natuurlik gee ek vir jou om. Dis hoekom ek hier is.
Stop dan hierdie speletjie en bly weg van Leslie af. Sy het gewen, Chris. Aanvaar dit net. Loop mekaar uit! Nou! Willem! Loop!
The tourism sector, which 2 years ago contributed almost 11% of the country's GDP, has been all but decimated by the pandemic, that is the coronavirus. And Namibians in the sector have come together to see how they can mitigate just some of the effects, including the large loss of jobs experienced in the sector. Enter local tourism is lacking in Namibia. I spoke to Yvonne van Holtz of Magic Destinations and Rupesh Soni of Facilitate Namibia about this initiative.
So I had the idea mid-March already when international travel was already banned, and we noticed, I run a tour operator business, and I noticed that bookings are getting less, cancellations are coming in, and the government already announced the lockdown end of March, so I thought, okay, something is coming here, we have to do something. And I realized that the only way forward for the moment would be local tourism. And then I spoke to, it just happened that Nupresh and myself, we spoke, and he had exactly the same idea. So we joined forces and we started Local Tourism is Lekker. Obviously, we used the Facebook platform because it was free of charge. Nobody has got reserves now to spend on marketing or so. And and that's how it started. We had a few advertisements in the beginning, and then lodges and activity establishments, even tour operators, they noticed that it was the community was actually going for it. And we received many more, and I think Nupresh can actually tell us more about the statistics.
We started the initiative Local is Like a Tourism is because of the need of the tourism industry, where people don't know what's going to happen, and the only option is right now that the borders are closed, everything is closed, so we have to focus locally. We started on 17th of March or something, and within a week and a half we had 4,000 members, 700 specials, and just grew from there. And also we focused purely on local tourism, no advertisements, only tourism. So we had strict rules, which is what made it possible to grow. Currently we are at almost 9,000 members with almost 2,000 specials and 5,000 active members average daily, interacting with each other, looking at specials, and it's growing. And from there it became something bigger, a bigger initiative, in the sense that with the long weekend we also got a lot of feedback from many lodges, many campsites, establishments saying, you know what, thank you very much, because we weren't expecting anything and we actually were full this weekend, and we had a lot of people. Apparently there were 800 people around Brandberg area that last weekend, which is massive for local tourists. At the same time, also tour operators who operated overseas usually have started doing local trips and local packages for Namibians, including a guide, including a vehicle, which also is a new way of synergizing with the local companies, which has never happened before.
Many Namibians took to the page to lament the fact that most tourism establishments cater to tourists and very few are focused on local tourism.
Look, in the beginning it's true that we received a lot of flack from the community or certain members of the community, whereas they asked, now is suddenly good enough, now you need us to survive. But what people need to remember is, because tourism was in a position to charge what they did charge, they, or the sector as such, contributed significantly to the economy as a whole and to GDP. I mean, it's not only the tourism sector that benefited from it, but many other sectors as well, like food and beverages, etc., etc., the job markets, the employment. Now, obviously, where the borders are closed, international travelers can't come in anymore to spend the foreign currency. We need to look at the local market, but it's not that the local market was never considered. I've been in the industry now for 30 years, and in those years almost every lodge always had specials for the local market. It's just that they didn't advertise it for obvious reasons. So if you contact the lodge, you tell them you are a local, you will get your special. There's no two ways about it. And I feel the rates that are being offered now is, I don't know how the lodges are surviving on it. I think they are just cutting even with that, just to pay their staff, just to keep afloat, keep their heads above water, so that once international travel resumes, you know, they can carry on. And I am very certain, because that is our mission now. It's not only to educate the customer, but even the supplier, to make them see who is helping them through these difficult times, so they will have to continue with these specials. And that is our mission, and I think that we are getting the message across, and it will continue, that locals will be able to travel. But the local cannot expect from a lodge in a remote area. I mean, it costs really the overheads just to run a lodge. People should think a bit about that. So you can't expect a lodge to run at a loss just to accommodate a local.
Initially we got a lot of complaints, but look, there's two sides to it. You mentioning middle income people, you specifically said local black market. The people who are complaining on Facebook is the other side of the spectrum as well, where there are people who are well off and they're still complaining, that it's not cheap enough. You don't go to Germany or any other country that I've traveled where they have specials for locals. I mean, you don't expect them. People in China don't expect, because I'm Chinese, I get it cheaper. It is the prices. We have a situation here also where if we advertise local specials, then the clients will blame the tour operator, saying, look, if they're advertising it for X amount, why is it that I'm paying so much for the trip and for the accommodation? Which is where we have to be careful, because local tourism only contributes maybe 3-4% of the total tourism income for the year, and it's almost 18-20 billion a year. You can't expect locals to spend so much. At the same time, we've got lodges for $250 a night with breakfast, self-catering places in Sossusvlei for $400-500 a night with breakfast. Some places like Ipacha, which was quite exclusive, is $2,400 for 2 nights with breakfast, lunch and dinner and spa treatment for 2 nights. I mean, that's less than half. It's like 20-30% of the price. And if you still say it's too expensive, then you need to look at your budget and not the lodge costs, because there's a limit between working together, supporting them, because the money you're paying is going towards putting food on somebody's table. It might be the community there who's only dependent on the lodge for the social causes. And the other side is entitlement. We have grown entitled to expecting being given a lot of offers because we're Namibians, which we need to realize if we are going to a world stage. We can't expect that if we want to invite tourists, because if a lodge is packed full week or full month with foreign tourists, you can't expect local prices, because then you are actually preventing Namibia from getting that income, just because you want to spend less. With the platform we're making, we're also trying to find a way, even on Facebook and the website, is if you have Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday free, 2 rooms available, then quickly go out, give it a local special, because you made up for the week, and just give it out. And that's the plan going forward, that we want to, of course, accommodate everyone in Namibia. If you go there, you'll see campsites for $100. There are some campsites which are saying, look, come and pay whatever you can afford to. They just want people there. So yeah, it's a long-term plan. It's not just once off. It's to show people how to use social media and how to work with each other in a different way.
Nupesh and Yvonne are hopeful that tourism will someday be better than it used to be in Namibia.
Well, look, South Africa said they might open their borders in February 2021, which is, if we also open the soonest, it might be before like December or January next year. So we have to find ways. We're busy with a website, we're busy with a payment option where some money goes to the communities if locals spend somehow, because eventually if you're spending and we can't help the community while going there, it's just a holiday, and then people can only do so many holidays a year. We need to find synergies where we can do more trips. If South Africa and Botswana and regional travel opens, for example, we can extend local Isleka to Botswana or South Africa and make that part of the local deals, where Botswana can offer Namibians good deals and vice versa. So we can also travel like neighbors, and they can come here, and we can look at what else find new ways to do things. But one thing is for sure, that that old way of working is gone. We'll have to definitely find new partnerships, and bigger companies will have to find ways to accommodate the 80% smaller companies who make up the tourism industry.
I think this situation now with COVID-19, it's actually an opportunity for us locals to explore our own country, because it's normal. It's usually you are drawn to places beyond the border because it sounds more exciting, it sounds more adventurous, but people will be surprised how much you actually can get within your borders, which you don't get anywhere else. Namibia is known for its contrasts, for its diversity. Everyone is willing to travel to Cape Town in one go. Get into your car, go into the Caprivi, go into the Kavango. Then another total different scenario would be Kaoka Lands. The different scenarios. There is so much Namibia has to offer to the local tourist. Use it. Do it.
And with that, it's a wrap. Stay woke with It's a Wrap by following us on our social media pages. Thanks for watching.
BBC Africa Eye launched in April 2018, broadcasting bi-weekly in multiple languages across the African continent. Our TV online investigations use cutting-edge techniques, including open source, and we work with a vast network of on-the-ground reporters that methodically uncover hidden local stories and hold power to account. Last year, our network of over 100 journalists visited over 20 African countries, delivering award-winning investigations that have changed lives and have had a major impact nationally and across Africa. Today, we'll be looking back at some of the Africa Eye investigations that sent shockwaves throughout the continent, exposing criminal networks, corruption, and exploitation of power, leading to arrests and major changes in law. This is Africa Eye, What Happened Next?